Hello guys, it is Gate of Theories here, and after nearly 10 years of waiting, we finally have the highly anticipated spin-off show to the sitcom How I Met Your Mother. And we got it. And we've had about half the episodes, and so far, I don't really know what to say. How I Met Your Father just hasn't clicked like the original show did. It's not bad, it's just not great. So let's dive into why. But before we go any further, please make sure that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified every time we make any brand new videos. So, you can clearly tell this is a How I Met Your Mother spin-off, as it has many of the same traits with some new ones. However, what I think is truly lacking is just some of the How I Met Your Mother comedy spin that made the original show just so brilliant. The show takes on the same concept. We have our hopeless romantic Sophie, this time instead of Ted, telling her son in 2050 about how she met his father. Seems fine, however, this is when we start getting some of these issues straight off. What made the original show so great was that throughout all of the laughs and one-off episodes, the mystery of who the mother was always still relevant. In the first episode, we were introduced to Ted's on-off girlfriend Robin. However, we were confirmed that she wasn't going to be the mother, but that we still had a long way to go. And every time Ted dated someone new, a glimmer of whether it was the mother or not created some excitement. It wasn't until the end of season 8 when we finally met the mother and only really got the final season to see her properly, which worked great. Because you got all of the near moments of where Ted was so close to seeing her, like at Cindy's house, or the lecture room, or just the running gag of the yellow umbrella. This kept the show still interesting. However, this time they've kind of just thrown it all away in one episode. Unless they're wanting this show to be a 10-episode run and only have one season, they've already confirmed who the father is going to be.
That's the night I met your father.
The end of the final episode shows that the father is one of the 4 members in Sophie's life: Jesse, Charlie, Sid, or Ian. So the whole sense of mystery is just gone, and it begs the question of why we're even spending time watching Sophie get to know other guys, like Drew for example, when we know that they're definitely going to break up somewhat in the future. Now you could say that this was the same for How I Met Your Mother, but for the majority of Ted's girlfriends, apart from Robin or Jeanette, it was never confirmed whether they were or weren't the mother, so there was still a glimmer of mystery. We just had to stick along for the journey and find out by the end. Not to mention, the fact that we see what Sophie is like in the future is a bit weird. I get why they did it, as the last time the kids had to film the ending at season 2 because they would look too old by the time the show ended, and it meant that the show trapped itself into a fixed ending, which some people really did not like. But personally, I just don't think that young Sophie and older Sophie seem anything alike, not like how Ted and older voiceover Ted did. So that same similarity that they've taken and slightly changed from the original show to this new show, I just don't think works as well. The characters themselves seem okay, but not brilliant. You can tell there was some inspiration from the original gang, but definitely some new ones. Sophie is clearly Ted, but the others I'm a bit unsure about. I originally thought Sid and his wife were going to be the new Marshall and Lily, with both getting engaged in the first episode, but his wife is barely there, so that's definitely not it. Valentina is kind of like Barney in trying to get Sophie to do everything she can, but is kind of like a spin on the character as she's in a relationship with Charlie and isn't hooking up with someone every night. Jesse is just a stereotypical love interest for Sophie, but seems to lack any other personality trait other than that, so is nothing like Robin. And then Charlie and Ellen just seem a bit disconnected most of the time from everyone else. The group dynamic is also just a bit strange. You've got all of your common sitcom traits, but these characters just don't seem to work together, especially since the first episode literally starts with them all meeting in a taxi or a surprise move-in. What worked about the first show was that it was already an established group meeting only one new person because Ted was in love with her. This group, however, just seems to randomly form after Sophie forgets her phone in the taxi, and then suddenly they're best friends. Like, these are are 30-year-old people, surely they have other friends. And Ellen and Jesse's sibling relationship just seems so off. The show wants us to care about it, but they're the least two interesting characters out of everyone, so I just don't. So therefore, the group just feels really forced, and you're kind of just watching thinking this would just not happen in real life, like that end scene at the end of the first episode on the bridge, unlike what the original group was like in the original show, where you could tell that these characters actually all liked each other. These ones, they just seem to be there because the show wants them to be there. But there are some good bits, I won't lie. Some of the jokes are funny, and I do love Sophie and Valentina's friendship. And some of the ideas for the episodes are pretty cool ones. FOMO, even if it didn't really work, is a fun idea, and seeing Sophie try and impress Drew as being a sophisticated, mature 30-year-old on her birthday was also really funny to watch. And there is an occasional How I Met Your Mother reference, which is pretty cool. They're not huge ones, but if you do pay attention, they are there.
Follow me. Hey, have you met Ellen?
Hi, have you met Ted?
Wow, love your place.
Thanks. It was a total score. We got it from this old married couple who posted it on the Wesleyan alumni group. We even got them to leave their swords.
Wow, nice touch.
Is this like to the death? We should probably figure that out.
So, How I Met Your Father, it's okay. Like, it's nowhere near as close to How I Met Your Mother, definitely not, but it's an alright sitcom in aspects. The problem is it just isn't as exciting as the first show was. Now, I know it was never going to be as exciting because I don't think you could ever get up to those heights, and I'm trying not to be biased with just nostalgia on the first show compared to this one, but it just doesn't seem to have the same vibe. Where's the I love you on the first date, or stealing the French horn, or wondering who took the pineapple, or just hanging out at McLaren's? Instead, it's just a basic sitcom, which is fine in some aspects, but let's just say I'm only watching it because it's a spin-off to How I Met Your Mother. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have even gotten on to the second episode. But we are halfway through the season, and I am hopeful that some really good things are about to come. There are rumours that Neil Patrick Harris as Barney could be returning, and if there's any more references to the original show, honestly, it would just make my day. So I'm hopeful that they may do something with it. I just really hope that they do. And who knows, maybe the future of the show and future seasons may be better, but currently, as it stands, I don't think it's as good as it could be. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let us know down below in the comments, what do you think of How I Met Your Father? Do you think it's a disaster? Do you think there's some hope? Do you think it works? Or do you just think that they're just trying to get a spin-off out of How I Met Your Mother, but really they're never going to get it as good as the original was? Let me know all your thoughts down below, and as always, we've been here on Get Your Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.